I, as a Muslim, had tremendous confidence in the truth of Islam because I honestly believe the Quran had never been changed. And I would say the vast majority of Muslims have that kind of confidence in Islam because of what they believe to be true about the preservation of the Quran. And it's just simply false. It's a farce when you study the history of the Quran. But they don't know that. No one's ever told them that. The tremendous problem is that within early Islamic history, all the Qurans were burnt because of the differences between them. This is something that's recorded in the Islamic sources. The most trustworthy source of Islamic history, Sahih al-Bukhari, records this in book 61. It actually records the fact that all the early Quran manuscripts were burnt because there were differences among them. And then that there was a standard one that was issued. This was something that happened within 20 years of Muhammad's death. No professor that I've ever studied under, no scholar that I've ever talked to has denied that event. It's so well recorded in Islamic history. The Quran was what standardized Arabic script. And so Arabic had to learn to adapt in order to capture the complexities of verbal speech, written Arabic did, in standardized writing. As that was happening, certain Qurans were being considered valid, certain were being considered invalid. You have the time of a man named Ibn Mujahid, approximately 300 years after Muhammad, saying, okay, we've got dozens of Qurans out there, we have to limit to 7 or 10, depending on the story that you hear. You've got this intentional limitation of how many Qurans are valid, and that kept happening up until an official Quran, we don't even have to say official, but the Islamic world printed its first Quran in the 1920s. When that happened, because it was the first one printed, all the rest of the Qurans that were out there lost favor. For the most part, you still have some that are being used. So Hafs an Asim is the name of the qirra of the Quran that's currently being used. It is different from, for example, Warsh an-Nafi, the second most common qirra that's being used. And Muslims will say, oh, it's just differences in recitation. No, there's differences in meaning.